All right, y'all. I'm on a journey to 10% body fat. I recently just lost 20 pounds. I was at 225. I'm 205 right now. Still got a long way to go, but I'm realizing a lot. So, one thing that really bothered me is that I would consume fitness content all the time. Like, I watched every YouTuber you could think of, whether it's Greg Doucette, Jeff Nippard, all these guys, right? And I thought that I just needed more information, because I would try everything. I did keto, intermittent fasting, fasted cardio, 1 meal a day. I basically tried everything you could. And in reality, I always ended up gaining the weight back or not losing weight at all or just getting bloated. And I felt like something was always missing. And that caused me to consume more. Because again, I thought I needed more information. I thought that there was something that lean people knew that I didn't know. And I just needed more information. I needed to figure out what that was. Now, at the end of the day, what I realized and what finally worked for me was realizing that I already knew everything. Most people already know what they need to do, just not doing it. And let me make this make sense, because at the end of the day, everyone says that you're just not doing it, you just got to be consistent. But in reality, more information is not better. Like, for example, most of the advice out there, it assumes that you're already consistent. So if you watch different content creators that tell you, okay, you got a carb cycle, and then you got an intermittent fast to optimize, and then you got to use these specific recipes and time your protein during this time, and then you got to make sure you have a before your fasted cardio and then your before meal workout. All of that stuff doesn't matter at all. You'll see zero progress with any of that stuff if you're not doing the basics already. Most people aren't doing the basics. And so I wasn't doing the basics. I wasn't just doing the normal track my calories, hit my macros, hit my cardio every single day, hit my protein every single day. I wasn't doing any of that. But I was trying to learn the new strategy that all these lean people were doing to get them to lose weight and get them to stay lean year round. Because that's what gets the clicks at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, doing all that extra stuff is like if you're learning math and you're trying to do algebra or even calculus, but you didn't even learn addition or subtraction yet. It doesn't make sense. All that extra fluff didn't help me when I wasn't doing the bare minimum. If the bare minimum is 170 or 160 grams of protein every single day and eating 1900 calories to be in a calorie deficit, if that bare minimum isn't happening, then I can do everything else in the book and I'm still not going to lose weight. Because no matter what I'm doing, I still had to stay in a deficit and eat my protein. It was really that simple, guys. And so, all this extra advice is already making that assumption that you already are doing the minimum. But if that was the case, you'd already be lean. And it took me a while to realize that. So that was a huge change that I made. I don't care at all about all the extra stuff now because I just need to hit the basics. When I hit the basics and I'm lean, then I might look into, optimizing. But it really didn't matter. Because that brings me into my second point, optimizing versus actually tracking. So optimizing is like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I hit every muscle at least 2 to 3 times a week. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna get my exact amount of carbs. I'm gonna eat exactly 200 grams of carbs today. I'm gonna eat exactly this amount of protein, and I'm gonna keep my fats at this level. And then I'm gonna make sure I get all my vitamins from this source and all my minerals from this source and all my fats and saturated fats from this source. And then I'm gonna make sure that, you see how complicated that is? And I feel like I'm creating a science equation just to get my calories and just to get my meal plan. That's why it's so hard for people, because we're trying to optimize. If you try to optimize everything in life, you'll end up not optimizing anything. Because optimization takes too much effort in almost every scenario. Like, for example, if you're optimizing your ability to let's say you're optimizing your ability to work, right? So that means you're going to use every hour of every day and every minute you can to get the most amount of work done possible. So if I'm doing that, what does that mean I have to sacrifice? Well, first of all, that means I definitely can't cook, because working is not cooking. So I need to sacrifice that. And if I'm not already rich for a personal chef, that means I got to buy some food. And if I'm buying some goofy food, what does that mean? I'm not losing weight. I'm not getting lean. So now I can't optimize work and optimize fitness at the same time. Now I could get a balance, but optimization is something we're always looking to do because we think it's better. But it's way better to just be like 80% of the way there and just hit the basics. Because once that consistency is down, then optimization can be added on top of that. So I tried so many times to optimize. I would try to negate the seed oils because I would listen to the seed oil people and they'll tell me that it's inflammatory. So I remember I would go in to the stores, I would use the apps to see if this is a carcinogen, and I would look in to see if the seed oils was affecting it and what type of ingredients, if it was GMO or non-GMO. And I was doing all this crazy stuff, focusing my whole life on my diet. Meanwhile, I'm still eating 3,000 calories, didn't even know. Because guess what? Seed oil or not, oil is oil and fat is fat. And guess what? It's still like shit, freaking 9 calories per gram. And no matter what, you're gonna be in a calorie surplus if you're eating a bunch of fat. That's just what's gonna happen. And so that optimization fallacy, it was something that was holding me back so much. And I finally broke out of it when I just realized that what's my goal? Create a plan to hit my goal. Are the seed oils going to affect my goal? No. So a trick I did for myself is I just told myself, hey, I don't really care about all the noise. Entrepreneurs do this a lot. They say, all right, what's the noise? And then what's my goal for the day? If I have 3 tasks I need to complete today, then I'm not going to focus on anything besides those 3 tasks. Everything else is noise. It's the same thing with fitness. If my 3 things are calorie deficit, protein, gym, 3 things, everything else is noise. Once those 3 things are optimized, those 3 things, then I started to look at other stuff. And I still don't have all that optimized yet. So I'm not worried about it. All I'm worried about is those 3 things. And that's what makes it simple for me. And so what it came down to, the real problem was just the habits. That's just what it is. And so not having those habits in place is what kind of makes it difficult to get anything done. Really cool book called Atomic Habits. Y'all probably heard about it. That book kind of encapsulates how your whole life is revolved around your daily habits that you acquire from childhood. Because your brain subconsciously has habits, and it goes into strategies on how to create better habits. But just to make it simple, I highly suggest reading that book, but just to make it simple, if you're focused on anything other than just the goal itself and what's the 3 things needed for that goal, you're really wasting your time. And that's what I found out, The habits for me were the weekends, were the eating out with the girlfriend, were just the lack of cooking at home. Once I started cooking at home, guess what? I have to eat the food because I don't want it to go bad. And once I'm doing that, now I'm hitting my calories every single day because I just eat what I cooked at home. I don't have to eat out. I'm saving money and saving calories. And so those little changes made all the difference for me. And all the complicated stuff that I thought I needed to know, I don't even use any of it right now. It doesn't make a difference to me. So that's something to remember, guys. Something to keep in mind, for real. That helped me at least. And so at the end of the day, the boring stuff is what works. Yep. That really changed my whole mindset. Not the exciting new stuff that you're gonna see on the next clickable video from your favorite fitness YouTuber. it's just gonna be the boring stuff that you already know. What's that? You already know. I said it already. If it's too exciting, it's probably not gonna work. And we're not talking about like Ozempic or none of that stuff, because that is not fully studied. We don't know anything about all that, what it could cause. It has side effects. If you want to lose weight naturally, what worked for me is just focus on the boring stuff. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. Like, the simple stuff that we learned as a kid is really what made the biggest difference for me. So, after y'all watch this video, this is what I need y'all to do. Don't do anything else. Just track your calories tomorrow. Track every single calorie you eat tomorrow. That's it. Not for the whole month, just for tomorrow. And see how much calories you eat tomorrow. That's the first step towards reaching your fitness goals. Lock in, y'all.